Dire team ban. Radiant team ban.
Right, welcome everyone back. We are once again back with TITA DOTA 2 Summer Tournament, the Italian Amateur DOTA 2 Tournament. And we are straight back into a game between Elder's Clan and FIERI. And the quick first ban coming up will be Faceless Void. Not exactly a very common ban, but yes, we'll ban out Faceless Void for their first ban. FIERI will return and ban out the Queen of Pain. Fairly common first phase ban, follow up by another one, which will be the Shrek. So let's see whether it will be the Undying or the Gyrocopter get that banned out. My bet would be that it will be the Undying. Undying, of course, definitely the more annoying hero to deal with. Oh, they will actually go with neither and ban out the Silencer. Pretty common ban as well, though usually we see that ban coming up in the second phase, but sometimes when you want to go for a very teamfight orientated lineup, you do want to ban out the Silencer in the first phase to ensure that your opponent does not pick it up within the first picking phase. And the ban on the Faceless Void is pretty unique though. Maybe a respect ban. Probably maybe watching some games from FIERI. They know they run the Faceless Void very well, something like that. And they will go with a first pick on Tidehunter, which is interesting that they ban out the Faceless Void, because usually you pick the Tidehunter into another AoE setup. Using the Ravage, you gain about like a second or two to have a quick look to where to drop your Chrono Spear or where to drop your Static Storm, that sort of things. And it's pretty interesting that they actually ban out the Faceless Void first. Once again, like I said, it's very likely a respect ban for Team FIERI. And that's a very interesting first pick. Crystal Maiden will be picked up by FIERI and follow up into an Ancient Apparition. Very icy pickup from them. Maybe even going to a Tusk. What other ice heroes do we have? We have Tuskar, we have Winter Warren. So that'll make it 4. I don't think there is a total of 5 ice element base heroes. 4 is probably the maximum. They will go for another teamfight hero, and that will be the Witch Doctor being picked up by Elder Clan. So it's almost like a thank you for banning Silencer. I will now pick a very teamfight orientated lineup. However, of course, Ancient Apparition does do a pretty good job. If the ultimate lands on maybe 3 to 4 of the heroes and Crystal Maiden gets 2 to 3 of her Freezing Field Blast off on you, a lot of you are gonna shatter. That's a significant amount of damage. Each blast is about 100 damage, I believe. Okay, the first level is 100 damage, and then the Ice Blast will be 250. So if you get a total of about 400 damage dealt in the early game at about level 6, most carries are probably level 11. That's about 400 damage, magical damage of course. So you reduce it to about 300, 450 goes down to about 330, somewhere there. That's a pretty big chunk of health point, and then you're gonna tick for another 10 seconds. Oh, it's actually 8 seconds at level 1, and that's going to be about 80 damage. So a total of about 400 damage, and you need to have 11% to shatter, 10% to shatter at level 1. So something else dropping up a slight amount of damage on the site should be enough to shatter a lot of the supports. Level 11 is usually the scarier phase before they pick up the Aghanim Scepter. And we'll see, of course, how they run the Ancient Apparition, whether it gives a 4th position, giving it the time to farm its Midas. And a lot of interesting bans coming out from this two teams. FIERI will ban out the Lion. Of course, a very powerful support, deals with Crystal Maiden and Asian Apparition pretty well. These are all very squishy heroes, so that's probably one of the main reasons they banned it out. However, Elder's Clan will actually go ahead and ban out the Chaos Knight. Not something that is even picked. We don't actually see it being picked at all nowadays. You rarely see it unless it's pub games. I don't remember seeing a Chaos Knight in 6.84 yet. Pro games, I mean. And a Ursar has been banned out as the 4th ban. Not a very usual pick as well, but it's also one of those picks that can snowball reasonably well. They will go ahead with a pick of a Bristleback. So after 2 very squishy heroes, they go for a very tanky hero in return. It's very interesting. FIERI has actually banned out the Windrunner. Good burst, of course. Not only just good burst, a very sustained amount of burst. In the off lane especially, so very likely they're gonna run the Crystal Maiden and Ancient Apparition in the safe lane.
10 seconds remaining.
And just simply dealing with the constant power shot is just very annoying. Of course, Windrunner could also go mid. Both lineup have not picked up any mid heroes yet. Of course, Bristleback potentially can be ran in mid. Ancient Apparition too, not conventional but doable. And of course, we also see Crystal Maiden being ran mid in pub games. Witch Doctor also another potential hero to run mid, and also Tidehunter. But these are all non-conventional mid heroes, and now the first conventional mid hero has been picked up by Elder Clan in the form of a Viper. So we will have one of each primary attribute on Elder Clan side. And it really depends on the 4th pick. I want to see what they go into this time. They still probably lack an off lane. I'm gonna assume the Bristleback is being run in the safe lane. The amount of slows here is very powerful for the Bristleback. You start out with a Frostbite and you start spraying. Maybe you stack 1 or 2 stacks of spray. You Frostbite him, you get another Frostbite and Cold Feet. You get another spray off. You get a Supernova down, some goose and some sprays. You get a lot of PPQ. Oh, they're actually gonna pick up a Storm Spirit in the 4th pick. And that's pretty interesting. I was actually looking at something else. I was probably gonna wait for the 4th pick from Elder Clans, and if it's still a agility and strength hero, I would have gone for a Outward Destroyer, Devourer, whatever it's being called right now. But a Storm Spirit has been picked up. And the mobility will definitely help. Able to dodge the Ravage, just jump to the back and pick off the Witch Doctor once you drop the Death Ward, and all sorts of things.
Reserve time.
And it's though the 4th or 5th pick is usually the position you pick up the Storm Spirit at, it is still a Elder Clan will react immediately actually by picking up the Doom. So I think the Storm Spirit may be forced into picking up a Lincoln Sphere as soon as possible, or at least someone on the team may be forced into picking up a Lincoln Sphere for the Storm Spirit. We'll go into a 5th ban, which is why I actually say this Storm Spirit pickup. Usually you try to pick it as the last pick, and it's always excellent. Storm Spirit and Outward Devourer, it's always good when you pick it, when you have the last pick and you pick it up the last. So, but now we have 4 agility heroes. Sorry, 4 intelligent heroes on one side, and only the Witch Doctor, which I don't think has very good agility gain anyway. So, but the Doom was a reaction pick towards the Storm Spirit, so it was hard to say what they would have picked. I would have think you picked another hero first, maybe a safe lane farmer, a Phantom Lancer, or something else. They will actually ban out the Phantom. Okay, the Phantom Lancer would have been a bad pick there. You would have just baited. If you picked up a Phantom Lancer, the opponent would just immediately pick up an Earthshaker. So that wasn't a very good idea. My bad. We'll go into the final ban. And I'm actually not sure why they ban out the Phantom Lancer. As you can see, they have a core offlaner in the Tidehunter, they have a core mid hero and the Viper, and they have a core in Doom. Though it's still very possible the Doom may jungle and it will be a very sad 5th position Witch Doctor, and they may pick up another carry just to be greedy. Could be potentially punished. They will pick up Phantom Assassin. Does Doom mute? Casting spells and item while taking damage over time. Magic shield is present, such as barrier from Vampire. Doom will damage the barrier first before moving on to the hero. I don't think it mutes evasion, so I guess that's a pretty good pickup. And so it looks like the Bristleback will be going offlane. Still a very powerful kill potential. Phantom Blade. Is it called Phantom Blade? No, it's called Stirring Dagger. What's Phantom Blade? I don't even remember. It might not even be from Dota. But anyway, the slow for Phantom Assassins, Frost Nova, Crystal Nova, Frostbite, and Cold Feet could be pretty scary, or in general. Bristleback, the only hero that isn't a blue color team hero. He will be going offlane alone, miserably. Well, going up against a Viper Witch Doctor could actually be pretty okay, especially considering he won't need to deal with a tri-lane. On the other hand, you're gonna have to deal with a pretty powerful tri-lane on the Radiant side. So FIERI, I personally, well, the final pick hasn't been picked up yet, so I'm still not gonna say which lineup I favor. The Doom counters the Storm Spirit very well, but it depends on how well the Storm Spirit plays. Doom still has that slight cast delay, which Doom... Wow! I'm not sure whether that's a very good pickup. I'm gonna favor FIERI's drafting now completely. Without an Ior, well, they do have a slow in the form of Viper, and that's about it. I don't know. I don't like the tiny pickup at all. We're gonna see how that works out for them, but I personally do not like the tiny pickup at all. I got a feeling ES is gonna fail very badly, at least that's my prediction. But anyway, let's get straight into the game. We'll see how it plays out anyway. So very quickly, we have Zadnar on the Storm Spirit. We have Asmodai. That is, I hope I'm reading them right. On the PA, we have Bello. I'm just not gonna read his full name at all. Bello on the Crystal Maiden, the Dude on the Ancient Apparition, the Reckless on the Bristleback. And up top we have Zoid on the Tiny. We have Grandpa on the Viper, Ice Koi on the Tidehunter, Korak on the Doom, and Akuma Matata on the Witch Doctor. No sharing of tangos on anyone. Tiny rushing a border, very likely. So they will actually both go for individual runes, so no clashing on each side. They're actually smoked up. They are actually smoked up, so they are gonna waste the first smoke, and that's a great start. Well, it's not exactly uncommon that Dire does this. You smoke up, you try to go into the jungle, try to fire a pick off or two, but they didn't actually do that. They smoke up and wait at their camp. I'm not too sure why. I'm talking about the servers that they're connected to right now. And look, this is the only time in the game where most people's net worth is about the same, except for those that buy wards. I think wards aren't considered. Wards have no net worth. Witch Doctor is the solo support. He will buy up 2 wards, and I think the clarity. Oh, okay. He bought a smoke, so that's 180 gold as well. I do not read Italian, so I have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. Is it something about like it not being listed? Well, it is the only game being played right now, so I do hope it's listed. I still... The Doom is gonna have to help support a little bit. That's one thing. I personally still do not favor this lineup. I don't see a very good combo in it. You have a slow and the Tiny could potentially catch up. That's about it. Tiny is gonna be forced into a blink, unlike an IO Tiny, which you probably don't even need the blink. But they're actually gonna give the rune to the Doom. And up top they gave it to the Phantom Assassin, the safe lane farmer, which is pretty normal. You want to give it to the Phantom Assassin or your anti-mage to speed up the Battle Fury or whatever item they're gonna go for. The block wasn't that good from the Storm Spirit, but anyway, he does manage to get a good block on 2 of the creeps, so his melee creeps will die faster. Early phase going pretty evenly for both sides so far, and that's really not much we can talk about. And now right here, the slow dagger not coming up, so not in time to follow up. The dagger wasn't thrown at all, but Tidehunter does take a significant amount of damage right there. And the lane control is doing pretty good. Esmodai doing a pretty good job controlling the lane, keeping it not too close to the tower. I actually feel Crystal Maidens and Anti-Mage should be... sorry, Crystal Maiden. Oh, the slow is coming out right now. Actually, no, just a Frostbite to harass. Bring him really low though. He's still not gonna self up or anything. And the pool will start coming in, but 2 creeps, 4 creeps will actually go down under the tower. And Witch Doctor is now TPing down bottom. It's pretty interesting. He has put a lot of investment into... Oh, he actually missed a creep. He has actually put significant amount of investments into items, and now he will be going in. Doom will be farming up the jungler, and now he's going to leave Tiny alone with the Bristleback, and that's going to be worse. Tiny is just going to fall behind. There is no way Tiny can stay in lane with a Bristleback. And this Bristleback is getting a lot out of there. Now have slow on Hakuna Matata. That's first blood for sure. And the first blood goes the way of the ancient apparition. They now want to dive in for ice kill. But the dude has a lot of creeps coming onto him. And they're gonna back away. They do get the first blood away. So the rotation not only did not pay off, it even gave away the first blood. And leaving the Tidehunter alone was probably the better idea. They decided to switch the Witch Doctor down, which is a very squishy hero and will die to this slow and freezing combo even faster than the Tidehunter would have. But right now he is just going to try to man fight this lane, and Witch Doctor is actually going to come back to this lane. As you can see, Bristleback doing a very good job getting a crazy lot of farm out of this lane right now. More than what you expect an offlane Bristleback to be able to get. But he is getting a lot of farms right now. He is on par with the safe lane Tiny. And not only that, he is able to harass the Tiny a sufficient bit. The Tiny has actually burned through a significant bit of his tangos already. And I'm not too sure how this is going to work out. In mid, they are doing pretty well, and now more harassment coming up. Okay, that's one of the casters, I believe. And a pool wave has actually gone in, so Asmodai will be able to fall back deeper. And now Akuma Tada has to be careful again. And a Frostbite now comes in, and the cold feet slow from the dagger should be enough to get the cold feet off. The sun comes in and the cold feet just goes into effect, but it is being stunned up, and one more hit should be sufficient. They're trying to leave it for the PA, but no, Ancient Apparition will be the one that gets it again. And once again, 2 kills giving away from bottom lane, and South being used on the dude to heal him up. And CM tanking out a little bit of damage to ensure the creeps does not hit the dude to cancel away the self. And Asmodai just doing a very good job farming up in the bottom lane. 2 kills involvement. Not too much gold being going her side actually. Not even, that's just 1 creep worth. But she is leading the last hit chart. And as you can see, the Bristleback is now pushing the Tiny away. Equals on levels. Tidehunter stuck on level 3. And Witch Doctor on level 2. And that's pretty bad. You are getting much less experience, giving away kills, and very in favor. And a pause coming up for Ancient Operation again. Storm is lagging. Though it doesn't actually look like he's lagging, he's actually doing a pretty good job mid. He's on par with the Viper and even ahead in experience lead. Oh, he actually missed a deny right there.
Missing middle.
And as you can see, Zoid gets a significant amount of damage. Now, Reckless will die for him, but immediately gets stunned up and will take some significant harassment from the tower. Will be able to self up right after this though. He will self himself back up to a pretty healthy level. And very luckily for Zoid is that he will rotate down bottom and find a regeneration route immediately. So pretty lucky guy. But not so lucky for his team down bottom though.
Missing middle.
He will come in now with a ward and immediately being pinked out. So Akuma Matata gets slowed down. That's taking a significant amount of damage. A dagger should be enough to finish him off right now. No dagger, 1 more second. Throwing up the dagger, not enough. We actually will get the kill, Phantom Assassin. And once again giving away another kill just to drop down that ward. And it's like a sentry coming out. If that's a sentry coming out, okay, it's not. If that's a sentry coming out, that will be a very emotional day. You just drop down a ward and gave away a kill, and immediately Ice Crows now gets frost up. PA jumps in, will not dive the tower. Asmodai will back away from Dak. The dude wasn't close enough, did not even have the mana to throw down a cold feet anyway. And right now leading the last hit chart significantly, almost doubling the highest on the other team. And Tiny actually gets a kill. The Viper rotates up top and gets a kill on the Bristleback. So that will give him a sufficient bit of money to catch up in a lane that he's supposed to be leading, but is not exactly leading. It's just like 1 or 2 creep kills ahead. And Storm Spirit will now rotate up top, try to find a kill. And even with the kill involvement, Storm Spirit is actually still ahead of the Viper, which technically means Storm Spirit is winning the lane. You don't expect Storm Spirit to be on par with the Viper in the early game. Down bottom, Asmodai already picking up a Ring of Health, 7 minutes in.
Double damage.
Double damage on the Viper though, so that's some pretty key skills that they have right there. They're gonna rotate in and just gonna farm this up a little bit, and Asmodai is going to rotate away and drop down a ward as well. So they're gonna have 2 wards right there. They see the full rotation, 4 men actually, and they're just gonna back away right now. And face boot being triggered by the Tiny. Not exactly the best boot selection as well. 4-on-4 heroes right now. The dagger being thrown out on the Tiny. Storm Spirit in here as well, potentially jumping in on anyone right now. Just gonna linger around here just to make sure nothing happens. He's gonna farm up the lane a little bit. This is slowing down the Phantom Assassin's farm though. And the dagger now being thrown out on the Viper, potential jumping. The stun misses. This is an excellent time. They put the Tiny down under the tower. At the back on the other side, they are fighting though. 2 supports fighting on the other side right now. And they are bringing the Crystal Maiden really low. Frostbite being used right now. Crystal Maiden has gone down. The TP has come in from the Bristleback. And the dagger once again being thrown out on the Viper. Storm Spirit may want to go in and finish this off right now. He does jump in on the Viper. And down here, we are still fighting on the other side. In Championship taking significant amount of damage. PA finishes off Akuna and Batala. And now both of them have to run away. Tiny's backing up away, and Tidehunter gets burst down right now, and Tiny's on the other hand. Storm Spirit not enough mana to jump to the other side. Does jump to the other side of the deck, has a border charge right now, going for the Tiny. Still trying to pick him up, not really in range. The slow does connect this time, even getting a crit. Storm Spirit could jump forward and gets a slow off again, and that's one last hit. He does get the kill, and that is 4 heroes going down. A triple kill for Xenar, and I think only 1 kill going the way of the PA. They do get a kill on the Crystal Maiden though, but a disastrous fight for ES nonetheless. They came in with a double damage, kited really well by FIERI just to avoid the early game fight when the Viper had the double damage. He kited away the double damage, dealt some significant harassment on the Viper in general, and Storm Spirit over here pulling a Tiny under the tower, just separating the teams as the Viper and the Witch Doctor and Tidehunter in the back tries to kill off the Crystal Maiden. He kills off the Tiny over, he does a significant damage on the Tiny over here, jumps in to finish off the Viper. And then when they all come up to try to kill the Ancient Apparition after Crystal Maiden went down, Tiny and PA just pick all of them off. So in the end, they did get 4 heroes at the cost of a Crystal Maiden, the Sacrificial Lamb. Always, as always, Crystal Maiden, always the Sacrificial Lamb. Always the 5th position, always the Sacrificial Lamb. And while all of that is happening, the only hero that was not involved in that fight, the Doom, is farming up, and he's not even having his Midas yet. He's actually not doing well at all in the jungle. No one has bothered him, but he has not picked up his Midas, and that is really, really slow. Usually you see ahead of Midas latest by 9 minutes, especially for a pure jungler. And he's at 10th, and